So after looking through countless forums and websites, I keep on seeing one character in particular come up as everyone's least favorite.
Let's start with the thing I see come up the most, which is Catelyn's resentment of Jon. People seem to love Jon, and I think that his massive popularity contributes to this criticism's persistence, but my response is always, I don't think that she really treated him all that badly. It seems to me that Jon was given the exact same education, housing arrangements, and privileges as the other Stark children. It's even stated in the book that with the exception of Robert's feast, he always ate with the family. Another thing I see is Catelyn should have loved Jon like the rest of Ned's children, and while I admit it would have been nice of her, I don't really see how she's emotionally obligated to. While I understand that it's taboo to admit to playing favorites, people are biologically programmed to be more partial to their own children. And I'm sure that this is a realistic conflict that people can have when they take on their significant other's kids from previous relationships, and just because people don't talk about it doesn't mean it's not a realistic struggle.
When good old Ned came home with some horse baby, did you pretend to love it? No, you're not very good at pretending. You're an honest woman.
If she was some sort of saintly mother that accepted all children as if they were her own, it would make her way less interesting. Also, here's something I want to point out. Theon was basically their adopted child at this point, but nobody complains that she didn't love him as much as her other children. We actually only see Jon and Catelyn interact one time in the entire series, when she tells him that he wished that he had fallen out of the tower instead of Bran. Now, this is admittedly pretty mean, but when you stop and take a look at the context of the situation, I promise she's painted in a way more sympathetic light. I mean, she's been sitting by a bed for 2 weeks not knowing if her son is going to live or die. I think it's kind of understandable that she might be a little bit hostile, and also look, she also yells at Maester Luwin and Robb, but again, no one brings that up. Okay, so with that out of the way, I've talked about how people don't give her enough credit, but let's talk about why I think people need to be giving her more credit. Catelyn isn't the traditional mother character that you might see in fantasy, or in any other genre for that matter. And while her primary role in the series is still as a mother, she isn't relegated to the background. We see she has a lot of chances to go home to Winterfell during Robb's rebellion to be with her two youngest children, but she sees that her oldest son needs her more right now, and so she chooses to stay and counsel him. She's also just as politically savvy as the people around her.
I understand your grief, my lord, better than most I understand it. But in the name of my son, the king in the north, stand down!
And despite often acting solely on emotion, she always strides towards what she feels is the right choice and the best strategy. Letting Jaime go to make an exchange for Sansa maybe wasn't the best idea, but it's hard to blame her for wanting to ensure the safety of her only other child she knows for sure is alive. It really sucks that everything goes so terribly wrong for her. Out of everyone in the entire series, it's Catelyn by far that loses the most.